Hey everybody, I'm Asher.
And I'm Brian.
And here are our tips for buying a guitar, or more specifically, buying a guitar as a gift. So it's that time of the year, Christmas, where you might be wanting to buy a guitar for yourself or for a loved one who wants a guitar. And here are just some tips for buying one if you're not sure what to get.
All right, first tip, decide if you're going to get an electric or an acoustic. Well, you have to weigh the pros and cons. First of all, the pros about an acoustic guitar is that you're probably less money in an investment, and that's the good thing about it. The cons are it might be that your child is interested in an electric guitar. Electric guitar is more appealing sometime to the kids that are into rock and roll and stuff. So the first thing you have to do is ask yourself: do they want an electric guitar, or do they want an acoustic? I always look at it like on one hand, the acoustic guitar is harder to play. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. It's good in that it trains your finger, works your fingers out real well to make them sturdy and tough. But on the other hand, it might discourage some people. Electric's a lot easier, but it kind of spoils you. If you're playing electric, then you switch to an acoustic. You might find it hard to play an acoustic because you're kind of used to those light strings on electric.
And another pro about an acoustic guitar is it doesn't need an amp. So with an electric guitar, there's more equipment involved. You need an electric guitar, a cable, and then an amplifier so you can plug in the guitar and play it. And the acoustic doesn't need that. Tip number 2, decide your budget. So guitars are very interesting in where there is a huge price range. You can get one for $100 or you can get one for $1,000 or $10,000. So you really need to decide your budget. The more you spend on a guitar, the better it's going to sound and the longer it's going to last. But that doesn't always fit people's budget. Like, it could be too much. And you don't want to get, like, for somebody just starting out, you don't want to get them a $2,000 guitar. It's good to start with some beginner brands like Squier, which is made by Fender, which is like a very good guitar company that's been around for 70 years. So Squier and Epiphone are both very good brands for beginner guitars, for electric at least.
Yes, I agree. The Fender is really good about having something for everybody.
Yeah.
They've like you said, from $100 to the Squier, which we consider the student model of the Fenders, on up to the sky's the limit. But I haven't met many Fenders that weren't good. Even the less economic ones are good. And you can find these little package deals with, where you get the little accessories and a little Squier.
And Fender sells these acoustic guitars at big box stores like Costco during the holidays, where it comes with an acoustic guitar, picks, and like a package deal that said it's only like $150. So a lot of big box stores will carry.
Yes, that's if you're deciding to go the new guitar route. Now you always have the option of buying a used guitar. Do you have something to say about that?
Yeah, so there are a lot of places you can buy used guitars. Facebook Marketplace is a good place to get used guitars for cheaper. Like, I remember one Christmas, my dad got me a little red Squier little acoustic or electric guitar that he found on Facebook or Craigslist for like $50. So you can get some good deals used. You just have to be aware that there might be some dents or scratches, but it is a good option for if you don't have a lot of money to spend on it.
Yeah, the thing about buying a used guitar, if you don't know what you're looking for, it can be tricky, because it can have problems. If you have somebody that knows guitars, if you go the marketplace, the Facebook Marketplace route, if you have somebody that kind of knows guitars a little bit, because a used guitar, the neck can be warped, but I decided, so you have to be kind of careful about that. Okay, tip number 3, where to buy your guitars.
So there are a lot of different options. Most big box stores will have guitars during the holidays. Like Costco has a Fender acoustic that they sell during the holidays. But they don't usually only have one option. Bigger stores like Guitar Center, which are made, like our guitar stores will have a bigger selection. And Squire and Epiphone, like we said earlier, have a lot of beginner guitars. So places like Guitar Center,
Music and Arts
will carry stuff like that. Another thing is, if you can avoid it, don't buy from Amazon. Their shipping can destroy your guitar, or they just have really bad guitars on there that look like they're really good. So a couple of years ago in the guitar community, there was a debate whether you should get a cheap amp and a nice guitar, or a cheap guitar and a nice amp. And so I heard it put this way from a music channel I watch called Music is Win, where I thought it was a good point. For beginners, if you get the nicer guitar, they're going to want to stick with it more, because if it's easier to play, they're not going to care about what it sounds like as much. But if it's harder to play but it sounds good, for a beginner it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, but then again, it'd be nice if you could get, something in the middle range for both of them. But I've got a friend that's got a really expensive guitar, and then he's got this little bitty cheesy amp, and he's had it for years. I keep saying, when are you gonna buy an amplifier? And it's kind of like having a Cadillac with bad tires.
Yeah. Tip number 4: know who you're buying for. A guitar is not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. A different guitar does different things. If you're buying for a child, you could get a 3/4 scale guitar, which is a smaller guitar, which will be easier to play and fit them better. But you don't want to buy that for a guy who's 6'5". Like, right. that would look tiny on him. But you also want to know what kind of music they're playing. So like, if they're really into rock and roll or like more alternative stuff, an electric guitar would be better for them, or just a specific electric guitar.
Yeah, well, first thing I would do is just determine what music they like, and if they're a big fan of Jimi Hendrix, electric Fenders was the way to go. If they like acoustic music, and you also if you might want to go classical guitar. Some people that like that really soft Spanish sound.
But like for pop music, you'd want like an acoustic guitar. For rock music,
steel string acoustic.
Yeah, a steel string acoustic. And for the rock side, you'd probably want an electric guitar. And for the classical side, like he was saying, they have nylon string guitars. So you've really got to decide which one for which person. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and please subscribe. If you have any specific questions, leave them down in the comments, and me and him will both try to answer if we know what we're talking about. We can figure out what we're talking about. But thanks for watching, and see you later.
Goodbye.